Now on Anglia, the main news from ITN.
The crashed army lorry, Labour ask, did it carry nuclear weapons? Britain freezes, but it's worse in Europe. Prince Edward goes back to base to announce if he's staying. The Aussies' unknown bowler sees off Botham and Lamb. Good evening. The crashed military lorry in Wiltshire is at the centre of a political row tonight as opposition MPs and anti-nuclear campaigners press the government to say whether there were nuclear weapons on board. There's speculation that the lorry was carrying atomic depth charges to the Naval Arms Depot at Dean Hill when it skidded off an icy road near Salisbury and led to an all-night security alert by troops and military police. Labour's defence spokesman, Mr Martin O'Neill, says there's considerable public disquiet.
The alert began as troops and civil police moved in to seal off a large area of farmland east of Salisbury. At the centre of the security cordon, two 20-ton mammoth weapons transporters. One had skidded off the narrow icy road and rolled onto its side. Also on the scene, a group of anti-nuclear protesters who'd slipped through the cordon.
At the moment, there are people working on the mammoth majors in low light, so they're obviously trying to right the vehicles, get them back on the road. One has already moved off.
How far did the soldiers let you?
We got within about 50 metres. We told that if we advanced any further, they'd shoot us. They were carrying live ammunition. They say we know more than they do at the present moment. They admit that they are guarding a dangerous missile convoy.
All I can tell you is that a military transport vehicle suffered an accident this afternoon, and we are now endeavouring to put it right.
Were people in this area at risk at any time from this accident?
I can tell you that there were no casualties.
The recovery work continued through the night. By dawn, a huge crane had moved into position above the transporter. In sub-zero conditions, the defensive circle of troops widened as other soldiers burrowed beneath the vehicle so that lifting gear could be attached. Finally, with armed troops still in evidence and 17 hours after the accident, the lifting operation began. As the transporter came upright, the full extent of the damage could be seen, and it was almost an hour before the convoy could resume its journey. Still heavily guarded, the damaged vehicle crawled past the protesters who'd mounted a night-long vigil. The Ministry of Defence have maintained throughout that there was no danger to the public, but tonight they were still refusing to identify the transporter's cargo. Experts could only speculate.
The most likely explanation is they were nuclear depth charges, but I must stress that this is supposition.
Why the need for so much security if the accident wasn't dangerous?
I think the forces treat nuclear explosive with a great deal of respect. In fact, I think in this country we treat all explosive with a great deal of care. The explosive handling regulations are regarded by some other countries, including our allies, as rather fuddy-duddy and old-fashioned. But certainly we haven't had the explosions.